Hey, it's Ken Rosengren with Lucido Global Team at Keller Williams Realty, and it's Business Spotlight Tuesday. And I have the pleasure of sitting down with Amanda Goff. I've known her for more than a year, and I've seen the things that she does. Now, what she is she focuses on, she's with Silver Keys Media. She does photography, videography, and something cool that she's really started doing is she's actually been coaching and mentoring people on how to improve their photography and videography. So it's something that's completely out of the box that I was just really intrigued me, and I just got to talk to you about this. And first off, tell me about what your business looks like, because you do a little bit different stuff than what most photographers and videographers do. So tell me a little bit about your business first.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of like to call myself a visual strategist because what I do is it's not just photography and videography for the sake of a pretty picture or a nice video. I really work to understand a business's ideal client, understand that they have clarity in their message, and make certain that the content, if I'm producing it for them, is going to be something really valuable that's going to be evergreen and is really going to speak to and attract the people they want to work with, rather than just, something pretty, which is great. But if that's all it is, it ends up being very disappointing, because the end result of any marketing expense is to build your business and to attract the people you want to work with.
So the client has an idea of what they want to do, but you're sitting down with them and having a deeper conversation. It's not just, okay, great, let's go do that shoot or let's go do that video. It's a deeper conversation.
Yeah, actually, I send them usually a pre-questionnaire that has specific qualifying questions, asking them ideal client, what are their brand colors, maybe specific messaging that they're looking for, or an end goal. What is their end goal with this content? And then I have a conversation. We talk about what this looks like. And sometimes we do have to push pause and we have to do a little strategy work to really dial in their ideal client first. If they're not really clear on that and they're trying to speak to everyone, or they're not sure who they're speaking to, then what I'm creating for them is going to not work.
So you're not only coming from the point of contribution, trying to find out what their focus is, but you're also kind of being a business coach as well. Because if they don't know their very specific client who they want to work with, you're helping create that for them.
Absolutely. And I feel it's my responsibility. I have 15 plus years of experience in marketing. It's something that I got out of school and was trying to work in a film and video production company. When we moved out here, didn't have the ability to really have the connections I needed, so I went into marketing. So I really learned, I was doing social media before social media was social media.
You're one of those.
Exactly.
You knew it before everybody else.
Yeah, and it shifts and it changes so fast. But I will say, if you speak to your ideal client, that is the largest key to any business owner is if they can do that first and foremost, they will attract the people they want to work with.
So let's just say you're talking to your clients right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. What is 2 or 3 questions that you ask them to really make them think about what they're really going to use this information for?
Sure. So first and foremost, what is the end goal?
End goal's always good.
Is it leads? Is it they are trying to sell a specific package or product? Are they wanting to build their list, their email list? What is their client process? So I ask that because that's really important as to the visual tools we build. Because if the client comes in but they don't have a process and they can't really tell me what that is, then it's going to fall short.
And for clarification, when you mean process, you mean like an onboarding process for the client, or you mean a strategic process that they're going to handle on how to handle their client? Is that what you mean? Process?
Kind of the client experience. Yeah,
okay,
so it
client
depends.
Experience.
It depends on, of course, the industry and their end goal. So let's say they are wanting leads. Great. So we're going to throw this video up. You're going to put it out there. You're going to drive traffic to it. Where does it go? Okay, well, it's going to go to a page where they can fill out information and get a free guide. Okay, well, are you following up with that, or do you have an email campaign? Do you want to put video into that? And so I kind of help them strategize that whole process and think, like I said, evergreen, things that they can create or things that they can strategize in to really make it rock solid.
So that you brought up something as far as videos and emails. Mm-hmm. And I know, I'm a real estate agent, so I know videos have a huge impact. And putting them in emails, because I've started doing that, and I've seen a bigger response from that, from emails. Do you recommend having 2 or 3 different emails, or do you recommend having something where you can do an email constantly, or maybe start off a conversation with a major email? What do you recommend us doing as a business owner?
So I would say that having 2 or 3 kind of, I don't want to say canned, but they are, videos for emails are great. Something that's going to inform a client, help set expectations, help set how you do things, like a welcome video. Okay. That would be really good if you're onboarding a client. Yep. Or if it's a follow-up to, they filled out a form and they got their guide, following that up with an email that's saying, hey, how's it working out for you? And you could have that short video in there that also, not only are they reading and receiving the message through words, but they also can experience it and hear your voice.
Well, and the cool thing about video is in an email it's words. The typical email is words. And you don't really get the excitement or the punctuation of different words and different things. And that's the cool thing about video, is you hear the excitement, you hear the punctuation, and you see the excitement. And that's a big factor too. If I was a new business person, or you're meeting with a new business person, what are some of the things you talk about helping that new business person? Maybe they want to open up a store and sell widgets. Mm-hmm. What would be some of your advice for them?
So I would say first and foremost, really understand, outside of your ideal client, understanding your why. Why are you doing what you do? What is the purpose? And most people, their why goes back to they experienced a problem and they created a solution, and now they want to help someone else not experience that same level of pain. Okay. We all experience pain. Just part of being a business owner,
right? Yeah.
But if we come up with a service or a product, it's so that we can help someone else navigate that a little bit easier. And so that why is really crucial when you're first starting out. And it might be clunky at first. You might not know all the words, but to at least even have something down on paper that allows you to kind of hang your hat on something. Okay. It will help direct your marketing, it will help direct your messaging, and then you can start to shape it from there.
Okay. That's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to that conversation, because that's a very long conversation, because I know some business owners, you're right, it's a problem they experienced, but then there's a deeper why to why they want to bring this to the table with people. And it starts off with maybe a problem that they want to fix. Mm-hmm. But when you really ask and you go deeper into that conversation, there's deeper reasons. And you have to deal with those things. And some of them are just freaking amazing reasons of why they want to have these conversations.
Absolutely. And I approach the why a little bit differently with my clients if I'm doing a strategy session. Usually there's a business why. We have a why we're doing business. But there's a lot of times a personal why. Yeah. They're not the same.
No.
And that's okay. But you have to separate them. And then sometimes there's even a global why. Yep. So that really high arching reason of how you really want to impact the whole world or the whole community. And to be able to break it up into 3, I think helps people feel a little bit more like they can build on those stepping stones.
And that gets daunting though.
It does.
I mean, when you're sitting there and you're really thinking about your why, and all of a sudden you're asking, well, how is this affecting the world? Or how does this affect your community and then the world? It's like, oh, I didn't realize that. And then now that conversation gets bigger.
Yeah.
Incredible. What is your ideal client?
So my ideal client right now is that business owner who's either in that space where they've established their business and they've really set some foundation, but they know they need to have a little bit more foundation to grow.
Okay.
And they don't know what they don't know. Or they kind of are in the category, maybe they're rebranding. They've had a brand, but they and they like what they do, but they know they need to shift in order to reach a wider audience or whatever that looks like. So they kind of fall in one of those two buckets, and that's where I can help them with the strategy, can help them with the video tools and the image tools, as well as, if they want to, and I try and empower business owners to step into this and create their own content. I will help walk them through that process and get them through that fear factor, because often it's just a matter of one or two pieces of not being confident in how to use a microphone, how to use a phone, how to set something up. And
what microphone to use?
What microphone to use? What's best? What lighting? It's really just figuring out how do you want to shoot the video? Great. This is the tool kit you can use to do that.
Now, you've added a piece to your business. You've been that strategy person who's helping businesses with photography and videography. Mm-hmm. Now you've added the coaching and the mentor process to people, because some people don't need the whole thing. They kind of want to do it themselves because they're handy people. It's like a handyman, going in a house and fixing a house. I'm not that guy. I hire everybody. But you're that person that can teach them how to do some of this. So tell me a little bit about that, because this really intrigues me that somebody as a business owner, whether they're just starting out or they've been in business for a long time, can actually come to somebody and say, help me. Don't do it, but help me. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it kind of came about in the fact that I've had a few clients that, they hired me to do video, they hired me to do images, and they loved it, but they felt like they ran out of content. They felt like but they didn't have the budget to hire me again to create more content. And in finding that problem, I realized that simply I can work with someone and mentor them and be able to help them come up with a plan and a strategy, and just, like I said, walk them through the process.
So you're still doing it, and I mean to interrupt, I apologize.
No, that's fine.
But I find that intriguing, because you're still treating them like they're a full client, but you're in that coaching, mentoring mode. I mean, obviously, there's a fee, of course, but you're in that coaching and mentoring mode to give that person what they need, but you're still starting the conversation the same way. And the chairs that are moving around, it's okay, because, hey, we're at a coffee shop. We're at Latte Da. By the way, their patio's open. It's gorgeous out here. Come out here and visit with them. Little plug, okay? So there's that you're still doing your same process.
I am. It's really the visual storytelling is visual storytelling, and visual marketing is visual marketing. There is nothing, whether I'm doing it myself or a client is learning how to do it for themselves. What I've also found is that I can reach a wider audience. I've worked with people in LA, San Antonio. I've worked with people in the UK. So it's allowed me to actually take this process and to create a digital pathway for myself, but at the same time have a wider reach, have a wider ability to impact business owners.
I've known you for a while, and we're kind of on the same lines. We want to help people gain the knowledge that they need or want in order to go to the next level. Mm-hmm. And that next level could be personal. That next level could be business. There's so many levels.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that now you have a platform that you can actually impact on a global basis. That's just stinking amazing. I mean, Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know there's big companies that want to have a global impact, and yet you're not that you're a small company, but you're a small company having a global impact.
Yeah, well, and that's what the beauty of digital is. The beauty of digital is that you can have a global impact. You don't have to stay here. It's I think just really thinking outside the box of what you offer and figuring out how to deliver it to a client. And also not having the fear. I actually had a few people when I was early on figuring this out and just kind of starting to softly promote it. They're like, well, you're a photographer and a videographer. You're going to like take money away from yourself. And I'm like, look, people are going to come to me when they need the right person for the right job, for a professional video, a professional set of images. But they can't afford me to create it all. Right. And you need to be putting out content on a weekly, if not daily basis.
True.
And if they can learn to, so for example, we're at Latte Da. If Latte Da's special of the week is pumpkin spice latte, which I'm sure is coming soon.
Coming soon, because hey, it's at the end of August.
Right? Because it's here. I've already seen all the pumpkin spice in every aisle. They need to have the confidence in their staff or whoever it is to come in that morning and create that beautiful latte and take a picture of it and post it. Yep. They don't need me to come and do that.
Right.
Because, part of marketing is also telling the story behind the scenes. Yeah. And I won't be there for that. They need to capture that. They need to tell that story. And it's also more authentic. Yeah. Because the business owner or the team behind the business owner is there. They're in it.
As a business owner, you've got to tell your story. Yeah. And your story is more than I sell this. Mm-hmm. Which a lot of business people think that's what it's about. But it's really at a higher level. There's a bigger story. So, okay, so in our last moment or two, if I wanted coaching or I wanted to hire you to do a project for me, how do I contact you?
Yeah, so you simply can email me at amanda@silverkeysmedia.com. You can visit my website, silverkeysmedia.com. I have a contact form on there. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram and message me. So I'm kind of all over in all of those portals if people connect with me.
And if you're out and about in the community, she's always with somebody. Having coffee, having lunch, whatever. So especially she's always around.
Especially now that we can go out again. So, yeah, just say, hey, you. You can find me there as well. So.
What's one last thing that I need to know about you? Something I don't know about you, but I need to know about you. What is one more thing?
I'm currently working on a feature film.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
During COVID times. We've been filming out in the forest and outside, so we've been keeping it safe. But I'm currently working on a feature film project about Sasquatch.
Ooh, is he real?
He's real.
Is he real?
Is he real? I don't know. You'll have to watch the movie.
Awesome.
It's not horror. It's not goofy. It's we're trying to keep it more of a good story. So it's a good storyline. We're really excited for. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now you're in the scoop too.
Yeah, watch for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much. Over the years and our conversations, I've learned a lot from you, and I really appreciate that. And I promise you'll learn a lot from her as well. So drop her a line.
Yeah.
What's your phone number?
It is 360-213-5112. Yeah, you can text me. We can set up a one-on-one. And
send her a text message. Go to her website, silverkeysmedia.com. Amanda at silverkeysmedia.com.
Yep.
Just say hello. And I'm telling you, her coaching is amazing because I've heard the conversations. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you.
Bye.
And I don't have any friends here, and so